Today I'm drinking a polar seltzer blueberry lemonade because I was drinking so many Coke Zeros, my stomach started to hurt. I figured that was probably a sign to stop. Today's video is going to be thematically related to yesterday, because yesterday I talked about feeling guilty that I left a meeting early, even though I didn't need to be there. I felt guilty, man. And today I feel guilty not for something I did, but for something I didn't do. And I know people in the comments yesterday or today or whatever the video was, a lot of you were like, don't overthink things, baby. Just live your life. But that makes me think, you don't know me very well, do you? I overthink everything. I overthink the small things and underthink the big things. This is something I've experienced a lot, what happened today. Basically, I was driving home and I was on, it wasn't a highway, but it's not like a quiet residential street. It's like, traffic both ways, about 40 miles an hour. And there was a dog running down the middle of the street and, got out of its yard or something, and there was no one chasing after it. So clearly it had got out without anyone noticing. And it was kind of a big dog. It wasn't a German Shepherd, but it reminded me of a German Shepherd. I had to stop the car because it was running down the middle of the street, and there was a lot of other cars there that had to stop, and eventually the dog kind of ran off to the sidewalk. And whenever I see this, I see a loose dog probably quarterly. I don't know if this is normal to see that many dogs get loose and run down the street, but every time I feel like I should do something, like I should rescue the dog, and it's rare that I do. And I feel guilty afterwards. It's like someone needs to do something. I feel like an NPC in Skyrim after someone gets stabbed, screaming, "Somebody do something! Somebody stop that man!" Or in Home Alone 2 or is it Home Alone 1 after he steals the toothbrush and the lady says, "Jimmy, stop that boy!" That's how I feel, except I need to save the Doge. And it makes me sad because it's like, here's this lost animal. I mean, maybe it's smart enough to find its way back home. I really have no idea. I have no idea where it's from, where it's going. And you also feel sad for the people whose dog it is, and maybe they aren't going to know what happened to it. And I'm like, well, I see where it is. Shouldn't I try to help reunite him with his owner? And then, of course, there's all these other people who are seeing the same thing, and they're just going about their day just like I am, and they just keep moving. And it makes me feel like I'm part of this cold, unfeeling machine, and none of us are going to stop to help. But then, of course, I have to tell myself the logic that it's not safe to do this, I mean, first of all, stopping in the middle of the street to try to do anything is bad. Then this strange dog, you don't know anything about it. It could come after me. It could tear me to shreds. And then once I get the dog, what am I going to do? Even if it's docile, I get it into my car. What am I going to... There's just so many steps involved in successfully saving this dog that I just thought, I thought to myself, it might be better for someone who's better equipped to do this. And so I kept driving and felt bad about it. One time I saw this dog who was kind of big. I think it was a Belgian Shepherd, all these Shepherds. And it was on this same street that this dog was on today, except he was kind of just off to the side. And I was like, whoa, that's not good. So I pulled into the little neighborhood there, and I just knocked on a random lady's house, on her door. I didn't knock on the house. I knocked on the door. And she came out, and what tipped me off is there was a sign on her door that said something like, Belgian Shepherd Crossing or something. So I was like, oh, this is probably it. I guessed right. And then the dog must have heard my car, so he came running over, and the street was pretty far away. There was woods and stuff. It wasn't right there on the street. So I saved that dog's life. But today I just, it's part of it is the bystander effect, you know? It's like there's all these other people, surely someone else will help, but then on the back of your mind you're like, well, what if the bystander effect happens and nobody helps because everyone's thinking someone else is going to help? And this can be in much bigger situations where it's like bad things are happening. Why isn't anyone doing anything? Should I do something? When I was out of town last week, actually, this was an area with a lot of vacation houses, and one of them caught on fire, and it was a huge fire. And where I was staying was about 3 blocks away, and it was this huge black cloud of smoke and orange flames. It was like this raging inferno. And of course, what am I going to do? But you feel like I'm useless. People could be in danger, and here I am just watching. I'm not sure what I could have done. Probably nothing. And luckily no one was hurt, so my conscience has been relieved since then. You know what'll make my conscience even more relieved? To take a quick commercial break. Do you find yourself unsure of what to say when bad things unfold around you? Pick up a copy of NPC Phrases today. It includes effective phrases such as, "Somebody do something," "I'm getting out of here," and the popular, "Why are they hurting each other?" Thanks for sitting through that commercial. It just is so hard to know what to do in these situations, you know, where it's like clearly something should be done to help out, but am I equipped to do it? Probably not very well. Maybe someone else would be better. Maybe I'm just going to make the situation worse. And then I end up chewing on this for a while afterwards because it got to me. It's much easier when it's like a clear situation of I'm the only person who can help, so I need to step in. Maybe I'm the only person around. Maybe I know exactly what to do. That rarely happens. You see everyone standing by and watching, and you know that you're standing by and watching too. It just feels like there's nothing to be done, Or if there is, how am I supposed to do it? Like I'm unsure of myself. And this is something I think about a lot. Like, if I was really in a dire emergency situation, like a dog running down the street, it's not a huge deal. He'll probably find his way home, or some do-gooder will, call up animal services and they'll be reunited and it'll be a happy story. But if it's like a big honking deal, like someone needs CPR and I'm the only person around, or something's going awry and I need to be there, it's like it's something weird that I think about. Even though, what are the chances that I will be the person who needs to do something? I don't know that everyone thinks about this. You know what makes the bystander effect even worse in our society is that it's like not just watching, but it's like also taking the phones out and taking a picture. It just makes you feel like you're part of this cold, unfeeling machine of society. And if you get struck down and something bad is happening to you, then it'll just keep on going. They'll drive right past you like you're that dog running down the street. And I think, a lot of people are good and know when to step up, but I think that's not the majority, to be honest with you. And that's always something that I have been worried about, is am I the kind of guy who's a stand-up, step-up kind of guy? I just hope I don't have to find out, Was that a weird video or what? Let me know what your thoughts are on the topic. Now, to end it off, a really quick thing I've been thinking about doing, to put a quick arts and culture section, to take a total shift of focus. I just wanted to talk about this album, one of my favorites. Let me take this protective cover off. It's one of my favorite albums, and it's one I've been listening to a bit lately. Songs for Beginners by Graham Nash. His first solo album. Graham Nash, of course, of Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and Sometimes Young. It's a great album. He's got a great voice. I highly recommend checking out this album. That's all I got to say about that. Thanks so much for watching. Give it a like if you'd be so kind, and I'll see you tomorrow. Jimmy, stop that boy.